What up gamers, and welcome to another Versus video. Today we're going to be looking into likely the most sought out exotic weapon in Destiny 2 that comes from the Scourge of the Past raid, the Anarchy grenade launcher. Took about 13 boss farm runs for it to finally drop, but I can definitely say this is one exotic you'll definitely not want to miss out on. Now if Riven would just drop me that damn 1k already, we could finish my exotic collection. Why does it have to be so many chests? Anyway, now that I have the Anarchy, we're comparing it to two of the top DPS exotics in the game currently, the Xenophage and the Whisper of the Worm. If you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I've already compared these two behemoths to each other once before. Now we're going to add in Anarchy into the mix so we can see just how it works, how best to use it, and how it compares to the other two exotics mentioned before. So, let's get into it. Now Anarchy is going to be slightly different to my normal testing as the Anarchy works differently than all the other grenade launchers within Destiny 2. Instead of an explosive round, the Anarchy launches out these arc mines that can attach to any surface or enemy within the game. The mines can chain to one another and deal damage to any enemy targets that pass through the arc chain. And after testing, these bad boys chain for quite a distance. By my measurements, these arc mines will chain up to 15 meters apart. You could also just stick them to the enemy to continuously shock the target until the mines blow up after 10 seconds of dealing damage. So instead of bullets per second, we're going to be taking into account tick damage from these mines to calculate full-on DPS against the Xeno and Whisper. Also, because the Anarchy mines deal damage over a 10-second period, there's really no sense to take into account reload speed when figuring its DPS. And this is simply because you can reload during the time frame that the arc mines are still dealing damage on the target. But Mav, why would it work that way? Wouldn't you continuously launch arc mines till empty on the target? The specific answer to that question is no. The Anarchy mines work in a way where they will not exceed a set amount of damage after two mines are attached to one another. Plus, you can only ever have 6 mines up at once, otherwise the ones you put down will start exploding when an extra one is placed down. Take for instance on our ogre buddy here. Godspeed my friend. You can see that when one arc mine is attached, we are ticking for 3,252 damage. When we link 2 up on the same target, we start to tick for 6,504 damage per tick. If you add any more arc mines to the target, whether it's 4 or 6, it's not going to make a difference because it will max out at 6,504 per tick. The only time reload speed will play a factor is after we deplete all 6 rounds while dealing damage to your target with another weapon in between. But that takes quite a bit of time, as you'll see later on in the video when I showcase damage over time. If you must know though, the reload speed for the Anarchy is 2.87 seconds without any reload mods equipped. So if we look at the table with all of our data inputs, we can see all the numbers we need to calculate the full DPS of each exotic we're comparing today. And yes, I've updated and double checked everything for the Xenophage and Whisper brought over from our previous test to ensure nothing has been shadow changed on these two since our last test. A few things to add here is that on the initial impact of the Anarchy mine, there is damage caused by that hit at 467 per impact. There is also the end explosion that occurs once the 10 seconds has passed, which also implements a final damage tick before the arc mine disappears. This was recorded at 2,313 per arc mine explosion based on my light level. These numbers will also be accounted into total DPS of the Anarchy. So with all this put into consideration, here is how damage over time looks for the Anarchy. As you can see on the graph, I compared 1 charge versus the optimal 2 charges from the Anarchy so you can see the substantial difference it makes in overall DPS. But considering that Anarchy is ticking damage over a 10-second period, you're going to be using another weapon to deal damage in combination with the Anarchy till those 2 arc mines explode. Because of this, I also implemented the damage over time when utilizing another weapon alongside the Anarchy. And even though it's sunsetting, I brought in the mountaintop to showcase how this combo of Anarchy and another weapon were meant to be used. Unless of course you'd rather sit around doing nothing while you wait for the tick damage to end. To each their own, I guess. In any case, as you can see, the Anarchy grenade launcher is the epitome of set it and forget it when it comes to DPS. And when you add in an additional DPS from a weapon such as another grenade launcher like the mountaintop, you basically double your output in damage. But even with the mountaintop, how does this DPS compare to the output of the Xenophage and the Whisper of the Worm sniper rifle? Well, quite competitively. As you can see in the chart, the Anarchy alone falls short of the DPS when compared to the Whisper and Xenophage. But because Anarchy allows for the use of a secondary weapon in between its sets, it stays quite close to the Whisper without the catalyst and substantially outpaces both of these options when considering sustained damage. Of course, sustained damage will only matter if the damage phase goes longer than 20 seconds. Otherwise, you're better off utilizing either the Whisper or Xenophage during most damage phases within Destiny 2. Also, fellow Titans, if you're not already doing so, you should always be utilizing the Xenophage with the Actium War Rig exotic chest piece. With Actium equipped, you'll outpace everything as you'll never have to deal with a Xeno's long reload time, ever during a damage phase. Just a tip in case you've never thought of that before. Also, one last test I did with my buddy Dex was to see if the charges from another player's Anarchy would chain with one another of mine. Thankfully they don't, which means you can stack multiple Anarchy mines from different players onto the same boss, meaning a longer DPS over time and an increase in overall sustained damage. I figured this was the case since we melted the Spire boss with Anarchies the last time we raided, but I wanted to be sure. And there you have it, gamers. Another test in the books, and I already know what I'm testing next, so be on the lookout for the next video. Otherwise, thank you for watching and enjoy the rest of your day. You deserve it. If you found this video helpful, drop the video a like and tap fire subscribe for more on Destiny 2. Until next time, gamers, this is Sir Mav, signing off.